Daf Yomi Tractate Sanhedrin, page 45b, top of the page with the words Talmud Lomer. Sakol Yisakel. The verse states, he shall be stoned, with a doubled verb, Sakol Yisakel. Yisakel. Double verb indicating that the halacha applies in all places and at all times. V'im lav, Eid Hasheni, Notel es Evan. Notel, that's Tanya. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer, Evan Haisa Sham, Masoi, Shnei b'nei Adam, Notlav Notna Libo, Yemes ba Yatza, Latamech Tikshelach, Hi Gufa, Masoi Shnei b'nei Adam, Notlav Notna Libo. The Mishnah teaches that if the condemned party does not die from this fall, the second witness takes the stone that had been prepared for this task and casts it on his chest. The Gemara asks, does the witness take the stone by himself? But isn't it taught in a Braita that Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says a stone was there with a weight that could be lifted only by two men? The witness takes it and places it, casts it on the condemned party's chest. If he dies with the casting of this stone, the obligation to stone the transgressor is fulfilled. This indicates that one individual could not lift the stone by himself. The Gemara answers, and according to your reasoning, the Braita itself should pose a difficulty for you, as it first states that the stone was of a weight that could be lifted only by two men, and then it says that the witness takes it and places it on the condemned party's chest, apparently acting alone. Ela dimadlele behadi chavre bishadleihu ki echel seisi merazia. Rather, both the Mishnah and the Braita should be explained as follows. The witness lifts the stone together with the other witness, but then the second witness alone casts it so that it should fall with force upon the condemned party's chest, as two people working together cannot aim their throw with precision. V'atanya me'olam lo shna ba'adam. Mi ka'amina di'avid di'i mitzrich ka'amina. The Mishnah teaches, and if the condemned party does not die with the first stone, then his stoning is completed by all of the Jewish people. The Gemara raises a difficulty, but isn't it taught in Brisa? Neither did a person repeat the stoning, as the condemned party always died with the first stone cast upon him. The Gemara answers, did we say that they acted so? Rather, we said that if the condemned party did not die with the casting of the first stone, and it was necessary, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Casting of the first stone, it was necessary to try again. The stoning is completed by all of the people who assembled for the execution. Amar Mar Evan Haisa Tanya Achaz Evan Sheniskal Ba Ve'achaz Eitz Shenitla Alav Ve'echad Saif Sheneherag Bo Ve'echad Suda Shenechnak Bo Kulam Nikbarin Imo Lo Tzricha Dimitani Umaisi Achrine Chalufaihu. The master said in the Brisa that a stone was there, indicating that a special stone was kept in the place of stoning and used time and time again for this purpose. The Gemara asks, but isn't it taught in Braita the stone with which The condemned party was stoned, and the tree on which his corpse was hung, or the sword with which he was killed, or the cloth with which he was strangled, all of them are buried together with him. They buried a tree with him? If so, the same stone could not have been used for every execution. The answer is no. It is necessary to teach that after the stones were buried with the transgressor, they would prepare other stones and bring them to the place of stoning in their place. Nikbarin imo, v'atanya ein nikbarin imo. Amar of Papa, my imo batifisato. The Brisa teaches that all the items used in the execution are buried together with the transgressor. The Gemara asks, but isn't it taught in another Brisa that they are not buried together with the transgressor? Rav Papa said, what does the Brisa mean when it says that these items are buried together with him? They are not actually buried together with him in the same grave. Rather, they are buried within his grasp, meaning in the area surrounding his grave. Omar Shmuel, Nikta Yad. Amar Shmuel, Nikta Yad Edim Pater, my time, Tibe'ena Yad Edim Tiye Bova Ishuna, Veleka. Shmuel says, if the witness's hands were severed after the transgressor was sentenced to be stoned, so that they can no longer stone him themselves, the transgressor is exempt for punishment and is not executed. What is the reason for this? This is because I need to fulfill what is stated in the verse. The hand of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, Deuteronomy 17:7. And here, this is not possible. Shani Hasam Kra Yada Edim Shihaisa Kavar. The Gemara asks if this is so, that the witnesses themselves must stone the transgressor, or else the sentence is not carried out if the witnesses lacked hands from the outset when they offer their testimony. Are they disqualified? Oh, interesting question. The Gemara answers there is different. As the verse states, the hand of the witnesses, indicating that the hands that were there already when the witness gave their testimony must throw the first stone when the transgressor is executed. If the witness already lacked hands at the time of their testimony, others can throw the first stone. Okay, meis ve'kol makom she'avidu shnayim ve'yomru me'idin anu be'ish ploni she'nigmar dino bebeis din ploni uploni edav harei zeh yaharei targamot Shmuel bahen hein edav. The Gemara raises an objection to the opinion of Shmuel from what is taught in the Mishnah, Makon 7a, in any place where two witnesses testify before a court and say, we testify about so-and-so, that his death sentence was issued in such and such a court, and so-and-so, and so-and-so were his witnesses. He is executed, and there is no need to retry him. This seems to indicate that the transgressor is put to death even if the witnesses are not there to throw the first stone. The Gemara explains Shmuel interpreted the Mishnah as referring to a case where the witnesses who testify about the transgressor's conviction in a different court are the same witnesses who had testified against him at his original trial, and they are present to throw the first stone. In Ainli Ella Mimisa Akasuba Bo. Minayin Shim Iata Yochol Hamiso Bemisa Hakasuva Bo Shata Miso Becholisa Shata Yochol Hamiso Tamlomar most you must Makeh Bikomakom. Okay. Mikol makom, this might have to be a two-parter. The Gemara raises another difficulty against the opinion of Shmuel. But do we really need to fulfill what is stated in the verse exactly as it is written? But isn't it taught in the Braita? The verse with regard to a murderer states, "He that smote him shall be put to death, for he is a murderer." Numbers 35:21. I have derived only that the murderer is to be put to death, while the mode of execution written concerning him, meaning decapitation. From where do I derive that if you cannot put him to death with the mode of execution written concerning him, for example, if he is escaping from the court, you can put him to death with any mode of execution with which you can put him to death? The verse states, "He that smote him shall be put to death," where the doubled verb teaches that he is put to death. In any case, by any mode of execution. Here too, the condemned party should be executed, even if the witness cannot cast the first stone. Shani Hasam, De Amar Akra, most the Gemara answers there concerning murder is different. As the verse explicitly states, "He that smote him shall be put to death," which serves to include all modes of execution. Vilig Marmi Ne. The Gemara asks, well, but why not learn this halacha? But why not learn from this halacha a principle that can be applied in all cases of capital punishment? Vilig Marmi Ne. Mishum dahavi rutzeach v'gol hadam shnei ksuven habayin ke'echad v'chol shnei ksuven habayin ke'echad ein melamdin. That principle, this case does not provide a principle because the halachot of the murderer and of the blood redeemer, meaning a relative of one who was killed, who takes it upon himself to redeem his relative's death, are two verses that come as one. And the rule is that two verses that come as one do not teach a principle. In other words, if a halacha is stated in the Torah with regard to two individual cases, the halacha is understood to apply only to those cases. Had the halacha applied to all other relevant cases as well, it would not have been necessary for the Torah to teach it twice. The fact that two cases are mentioned indicates that they are exceptions rather than the rule. Okay, I think we're going to stop there.